All right, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. It is our first gen Search and Prepare for Internships webinar. And my name is Angie Carrillo Humphreys, and I'm a career counselor here at the Career Development Center. So welcome, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. I want to start off by just defining what first generation college student means. It usually refers to any person who is the first person in their family to go to college, and or the student's parents or legal guardians have not completed a four-year college degree. So today we just welcome first generation college students with us today, but also want to make sure to let everyone know that if you're not a first generation college student, you're also welcomed as well. But we do want to acknowledge first generation college students. So thank you. Thank you for being here and choosing to be with us today. Before we get started, I do want to let anyone know that if you're here because of because you need for a class assignment and you need attendance verification, then what you will want to do is you'll want to make sure that you email me, and that's angelita.carrillo-humphreys@csuob.edu. So just send me an email. So you might want to capture a screenshot of this page. You can email me. Make sure that in the subject line you do include the webinar class assignment. And then in the body of the message, you can include your name and ID number, your professor and class name and number, and any webinar notes that you take. So make sure that you do take notes throughout today's presentation and email those to me. Make sure you do not just take copies of the screenshots, but you are welcome to take screenshots. And of course, at some point, we will be sharing this webinar on our CSUOB YouTube page or Career Development Center YouTube page. If you have any questions, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask those questions as we go through today's presentations, or you can also use the chat feature as well. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to look for jobs and internships, right? And oftentimes, when we think about the fact that it's important to do this, take on this task and responsibility, that certain concerns may come up, right? You may get a certain feeling about having to do this. So I'd like to open it up for you to share either by unmuting yourself or in the chat. Enter what are some feelings or emotions or concerns that come up for you. And while you're thinking about that, especially as a first generation college student, if you've never had anyone who you could mentor or anyone who you can ask advice of, usually it becomes an overwhelming kind of experience. All right, and I'm seeing some people share overwhelming number of options. Yeah, feeling nervous. Yeah, very common experiences. Feels like a big task. Sometimes feel unprepared. Right. So you feel unprepared, you don't know how to start or how to begin. Jason acknowledges Eileen's comment or all of the above, right? So those are very common experiences. You feel pressure, feels like there's not enough guidance from family. Yes, Saba, feeling anxious. I have a speech disability. I have some stutter. Yes, valid concern. Okay, and we get nervous, right? And we have trouble figuring out, what am I looking for? How do I communicate this information, right? How do I address my anxious feelings and my nervous feelings about having to talk about myself or reach out to people? So hopefully after today's presentation, hopefully you'll get enough information to at least get started in your search. And then of course, you're always welcome to make follow-up appointments with any one of us, like myself as a career counselor, to continue to have these conversations and continue to address some of your concerns as well. And again, we are here to kind of guide you through the whole process. So thank you all for sharing. All right. So the big question is what is an internship? I mean, you probably hear people talking about it, but I have come across students who will say, I hear people talking about internships, but I really don't know what an internship is. So basically, what an internship is, it's an opportunity for you to get some real world experience in a career or field of interest that it might be related to your major or just to your career interests. So it gives you a chance to work in that kind of company or agency and be surrounded by other professionals who might be doing the kind of work that you aspire to do one day. So again, having that exposure to that work environment helps you also develop some really great transferable skills, skills that you can use in all workplaces, including in your academics. You're developing those kinds of skills as well. It gives you a chance to get to know other professionals in the field, which allows you to participate in those networking activities, which refers basically to you introducing yourself to others and them also guiding and supporting you as well. So I like to describe networking as an opportunity to kind of build community, right? You can network with not just employers, but you can network with students, right? Other classmates, get to know each other, begin to share information about what you aspire to do and help each other find opportunities as well. I have heard stories of students actually finding and landing internships through another student in their class by just having this type of conversation. And keep in mind that an internship is really an experience that lasts probably no more than one semester, although some companies might extend it to 2 semesters. So it can be part-time, anywhere from 5 to 20 hours in the fall and spring semester, and can be full-time during the summer as well. And oftentimes the benefit of this internship is for you to gain experience, right? And graduate with some experience. So that's why it's really important to look for opportunities, whether it's called an internship or any other kind of experience related to what you want to do, so that you graduate with experience, which makes you more competitive when you begin to work. Look for those entry-level professional positions when you get ready to graduate. We at least can say that you graduated with experience. So it is important to seek out these kinds of opportunities. And, the Career Development Center is a really great place to start your career, right? We have a lot of tools and services and support that will guide you through the career development process. You can see I've included our website address also that you can kind of screenshot and also follow as well. So you might want to take a look at it, make it your favorite so that you can see all the resources that we have available. And I'll highlight a few things on our website as well today. All right, some of the big events that we put on during the fall and spring semesters are job fairs. Right here, I've listed the fall 2023 semester job fairs. So you can see every September we do have job fairs for engineering and technology. So that's a great event that you'll want to attend if that's a career interest of yours or it's something that's related to your major. And you'll notice that they're usually about 4 hours, between 12 to 4, usually indoors in the University Student Union Ballroom. Some are virtual. You can see we did a virtual government and social services mini job fair. It was a smaller event. And then, of course, we always have the fall job and internship fair, which is really open to all majors. So I encourage you to attend these events, at any point in time so that you can at least get exposure. So let's say next spring, you're not ready to look for an internship, but maybe you do, want to attend a job fair before you're ready to start interacting with employers, just so that you can observe those kinds of interactions between students and employers as well, and get a sense, of what that setup looks like, so that'll help you prepare for the next event. So I highly encourage, these are great opportunities to meet face-to-face with other recruiters, to introduce yourself, and hopefully you can actually land some good interviews. And oftentimes we do have students that are hired by these companies, and that's why these employers do continue to return to Cal State Long Beach. For the spring 2024, which is what you'll want to start planning for, and you might want to add these to your calendar at some point, is their spring job and internship fair, which is scheduled for Wednesday, March 13th from 12 to 4 p.m., again in the University Ballroom. And that's an open and general job fair. So you can always take a look at the employers who will be attending these events through Career Link, which is on your single sign-on. So it's one of the apps there. So get familiar with Career Link, and that's where you'll find all of our events. And that's where you can RSVP to attend the event. Not that you're required to do that. So if you forget to RSVP, still come. Okay. We will also have in April, on April 11th, the Educators Job and Internship Fair. So that's an opportunity for anyone interested in the field of education or kind of educator related types of positions. And then we'll have the Just-in-Time Job and Internship Fair on Thursday, April 25th from 12 to 4. And I believe the location has not been determined yet. So next step, as you begin to think about, what is it that you want to do, when you graduate? I mean, for some of you, it might be right around the corner if you're graduating in December and spring. Some of you might be freshmen or sophomores. But right now is a good time to really be thinking about, what is it that you know or understand about yourself? Because this is the information that you're going to share with employers, is information about yourself. So information such as, your abilities. What are the abilities that you have? And I describe abilities as those things that kind of come naturally to you. You're kind of maybe born with it, right? I'm a pretty natural communicator, for example. On the other hand, my daughter's very natural with organizational skills, right? She can look at a pile of things and be able to sort it out. And of course, I didn't teach her how to do that, because if I look at a pile of things, I get overwhelmed and it's hard for me to know where to begin. So those are abilities that she's just naturally born with. And then you want to think about, what are some of the skills that you possess, right? Things that you've learned in school, through other activities, through the jobs that you've had, through the volunteer work that you've done, the communication skills, the ability to be part of a team, the ability to plan and organize things, right? The ability to be creative as well, or use tools that allow you to be creative. So those are skills that you learn or gain through experience. Okay, and then of course, think about, what are your interests? What are the things that I'm really naturally curious about? What do I enjoy doing? If I have, like a couple hours, on break, between studies and or work and other activities, what am I drawn to? What really seems really important to me? Or what do I want to learn more about? So think about those areas, and then think about, what are some careers where I could apply some of these skills as well? Or is the career that I'm thinking about allowing me to express and apply these skills and abilities and interests? Now, I want you to capture this screenshot or take a screenshot of this slide, because these are some really good assessment tools, or kind of like questionnaires, that will ask you questions about your areas of interest. And so we have Career One Stop that's available online, and My Next Move. Those are the website addresses. So take a look at those. You'll find lots of career information as well. So you can do an assessment. It'll identify careers related to your areas of interest. And then you can even learn more in depth about those careers and what kinds of skills or tasks or knowledge and education is required for those kinds of positions, including how much education you might need to pursue. So I would encourage you to start there to either explore options and or confirm that what you're doing is aligned with what you believe you're studying, or what a career area you want to pursue. And of course, if you're having trouble sorting through all of this information, or you just need extra support, definitely come schedule an appointment with us as career counselors through the Career Development Center. You can always schedule with us through Beach Connect, which is on your My Apps page, and use Beach Connect. You can click on, I think it's Career Counseling, and then the Career Development Center at Brotman Hall. And I think when you go to Beach Connect, you just click on the top right-hand corner. I think it says Get Assistance, and that's how you can schedule to meet with us. And we are available year-round. So again, if you want to have these career conversations, come talk to us. All right, a really good piece of information that's available on our website is a great document that helps you answer that question because everyone's asking the question, right? Well, what are you going to do with this major, right? So in order to answer that question and get more specific details and be better prepared to answer it, you'll want to visit again the Career Development Center website, which is just listed below. And you'll be able to find a document similar to the one that you see in front of you. So this is a document that identifies what you can do with the finance degree. Now, this document is usually on the average anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe up to 4 pages long, and you'll be able to download that as a PDF. And that's what I recommend that you do when you go to that site to find this document, is to download it as a PDF so that you can set it aside and refer back to it. So it gives you an idea of different types of career areas that you can pursue. So these can develop, like if you're not sure what investor relations are, you can always do a Google search to find out what is that? What do they refer to? What kind of opportunities are there in that field? And again, it's going to be a whole learning process, right? Because it gives you career areas, and you can always use these as keywords to do a search for jobs and internships as well. The middle column is where you'll find a list of employers that are likely to hire someone with a finance degree. And you can see that this one includes from working in private business to government organizations and very specific federal government agencies, including hospitals, right? Then further, we have banks, right? And regulatory agencies as well. So it's important to know and understand that today I'm going to share with you some information on how to find opportunities through CareerLink and CareerShift, which I'll speak more specifically to in a moment. But know also that oftentimes there are employers who don't necessarily advertise on these job boards, right? So it's really important for you to maybe do a Google search for these types of institutions or types of employers, and do a Google search for employers in your area. And then visit their websites directly and inquire. They might be posted on their website, or you can use the Contact Us button to ask them about any kind of internships or jobs for new college grads. All right, so I do want you to capture this slide. This provides you with the instructions on how to navigate the Career Development Center website and the steps you need to take to actually find this document. So I'll give you a moment. Make sure you take a picture, right, or a screenshot. All right, so I want to introduce CareerLink to you. CareerLink is a database of job opportunities that are available to CSULB students and alumni. You'll go to the My Apps page and you'll look for something called CareerLink Student. And this is a site that is managed by the Career Development Center. When you click on it, it'll take us to this page. Before I move forward, I do want to highlight at the very bottom right-hand corner, highlighted in blue, it says add a resume. So this is where you will be able to click and have your resume downloaded into our system so that when you come across opportunities, you can select it and send it directly to employers. However, we also advise that you make sure that you have your resume reviewed, and also take a look at the samples that we have available on our website, and I'll demonstrate that to you at the end of the presentation today. So start developing your resume, start updating it, and then definitely have someone review it. All right, so next I do want to highlight, I'm going to talk a little bit about CareerShift, which is a database of job opportunities that are worldwide. So it's a much larger database. Let's see, I see a question. Does the school offer resume workshops as well? Yes, we do offer resume writing workshops as well. And you'll find all of those events and workshops and webinars under this event section on CareerLink. And that's where you can RSVP for it as well. Thanks for the question. All right, so when you get to CareerLink, I recommend that you click on the Jobs tab. You'll notice highlighted in red up at the very top. And when you select that, it's going to ask you to submit like a keyword. Now I put in 2 words like marketing intern, and I put that in quotation marks, so that it searches for those 2 words together. So that's just a tip or a technique that allows you to search more effectively. Next, you can select a location. This one says Long Beach, California, and there's another listing for Long Beach, California, USA. I recommend you choose Long Beach, California, USA. I know when I've searched with just Long Beach, California, it will include out-of-state opportunities. So I'm not sure why they haven't removed this one. But remember, Long Beach, California, USA. So anything that has USA is the one you should select for the city. All right. And then you can choose a mile radius. So I usually start with a wide radius just to see more opportunities, but you can reduce it down to 25 as well. And then on the right-hand corner, you'll see highlighted in yellow. That's where you can select and begin to search. When you select that, you'll see this one pulled up, a total of 11 job listings. All right. And if you like the search settings that you created up here, you can create a job alert right here. And when you create a job alert, it kind of sets your filters or your settings, sets them permanently, and it's the default is to send you updated listings according to those settings on a weekly basis. You can also go into the system and also update it to be daily, like to get daily emails if you prefer. Next, another way to search, we could delete everything that I said above with the exception of the location. You can also select position type just right under the keyword search. This will allow you to see a complete list of different types of opportunities. So, for example, you could select internship, paid and unpaid, and then click on the apply button to select those settings. You can also, you'll notice right up here, you can skip the industry because that's kind of limiting, but definitely click on the job function and you'll notice here, it opens up that list of different career fields. I selected marketing and then I can click on apply. And then again, you can create that job alert on the right-hand side. And you'll see the listings that range from, working in Cyprus for a realty company to social media to digital production. Now, if you click on one of those job titles, it'll give you a description again of the position and the name of the company, and it lets you know whether there's an internship that's paid. So this one is paid, and there are full-time opportunities as well. It's not that it's a full-time internship. So internships, like I said, during the fall and spring are typically part-time, under 20 hours, and full-time is up to 40 hours. All right, so you'll notice the desired class level. So here they're looking for people from freshmen to seniors. The desired skills, if you have any of the skills that are listed here, make sure they're included in your job descriptions and or in a skills section as well. Okay. And also you'll want to pay attention to any important dates, like the application deadline more specifically. Okay, so ignore this, this date, but I'm just trying to explain the process of using this system. All right, so next, I think it's really important for you to kind of review the job description as well. So you'll notice here it says the ideal candidate. Okay, what does ideal mean, right? It's like the dream candidate, the person who fits all of our qualifications, but I don't want that to discourage you, right? So I kind of recommend that anytime you look at a job description, much like when you're making a list of that perfect partner, you think, okay, they have to have this whole list of, 25 qualities. And but ultimately, when you find a great partner, right, no one is perfect, right? More than likely, they probably have the top 5 qualities that you have on your list, right? So they don't meet 100% of the qualifications. So when you read through this description, just keep in mind, if I meet 70%, I should apply. That's what Angie said, right? And when you look at this again, if it has information like here, they want you to have familiarity with some social media platforms, make sure you include this information in your resume as well. If you have experience in these areas, you'll notice it says is a plus, right? So that means it'd be great if you have it. And if you do, make sure it's listed on your resume. But it is not required. Okay. So don't feel that pressure to not apply because you don't meet those areas. Here's the thing is you never know who's applying for this position, and you never know how many of these qualifications they meet. Okay, so don't dwell on, comparing yourself to, what other people might have if we don't know. Okay, so then you'll see information on the location, the type of work, and the desired majors. So you'll notice for this position, they're looking anywhere from liberal arts to business majors. It will state the earnings. Okay, and you'll notice here, so most employers are going to ask for a resume. You'll notice this one also wanted a cover letter, and I'll show you where to find information on cover letters as well. Next, if we go look at the top, highlighted in red, it says resources. So if you click on resources, it'll take you to this page. So I really want to highlight right here in the Career Development Center section, highlighted in blue. It says click here for virtual drop-in advising Monday through Friday, 12 to 3 p.m. And this is available both in person and virtually. Okay, so you can show up, you can print out a copy of your resume or bring it on your laptop, and we'll review it and give you feedback on that resume. And that's what I really encourage you to do. And you can do that by appointment as well. This is on a first come, first serve basis. So if there's 3 people in front of you, that means you might be waiting, 45 minutes. Okay, otherwise you can make an appointment on Beach Connect. I also want you to pay attention to the online tool section as well, because we have a lot of really good tools. Career Shift is what I'm going to introduce to you next. And there's a few other tools over here. So like Big Interview is a great online tool to help you prepare for interviews in case you're not able to make an appointment with us, to practice some mock interviews or to talk about interview questions and develop some answers. Big Interview is an awesome tool that allows you to look at questions. It gives you sample responses in a videotaped format, and also gives you tips on how to answer those questions, and allows you to videotape yourself as well. And then Going Global has more information on international and domestic opportunities for internships and jobs as well. Okay, so we're going to dive into Career Shift. You'll notice on the far left-hand side. Again, so Career Shift is another tool that we pay for so that you have access to it. So the only way to get to it is through Career Link. You can't just Google Career Shift and access it. So one of the things that's really important as you begin to apply for all these opportunities is that you remain really organized, right? So what you can do, a special technique or strategy, is to create file folders organized by company names. And then in that file folder, you will want to include the version of the resume that you sent them. Okay. A cover letter if you sent them, and definitely a copy of the job description. Okay, so you either want to copy the information from the web page and put it into a Word document, save it and put it in your folder, or create a PDF of the site as well. Okay, but you want to keep track of that, because more than likely you're going to be applying for at least 25 jobs. And more than likely an employer will not follow up with you for another 2 to 6 weeks before they invite you for an interview. And by then it's going to be hard for you to keep track of every position that you've applied for. And when they call you for the interview, it really is helpful to review the job description so that you can address your skills from the standpoint of the requirements for that position. All right, the second column here, the dashboard, you'll notice with the green arrow pointing down. I want to highlight the very bottom, highlighted in yellow. If you click on the help button, it will allow you to see videos that will teach you how to use this website. So I'm giving you a really quick overview, but definitely if you forget what I said or you want to learn a little bit more about this site, definitely click on the help button and there'll be a link to tutorials. And then there's a lot of great information as well further down below. There's lots of articles on the job search process, interviewing, how to network, and lots of great articles. Next, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up here where it's highlighted in yellow or gold. It says jobs, and then we're going to click on search. And then you'll notice you have to type in keywords here. So in this case, I just typed in the word marketing, but you can always hover over this question mark and it gives you tips and strategies on how to do effective keyword searches as well. Next, I want you to pay attention to this section right here. So this recently has been updated. Typically, the search by area and the advanced search are turned off for whatever reason. You'll want to turn them on. So if you want to only search by area, click this to on, as you see here. And the advanced search allows you to kind of sort out, full-time from part-time from internship opportunities. So it's a good setting to select as well. Okay. When you click on search by area, you'll notice highlighted down here in yellow, you'll be able to select the state, the region, and then the mile radius. Okay. And then when you click on the advanced criteria or advanced search, this is where you'll be able to select maybe internships only. Now, this site has some really good internships when they show up, and sometimes we don't see too many, but I'll show you other sites where you can look for more internships as well. But lots of great opportunities in general, so especially for graduating seniors as well. Okay, and then you'll click on search, and then you'll see that this setting pulled up about 15 jobs. You can save the search right over here. Okay, so that you don't have to reset these settings every time you come in. You can save those searches, and again, it'll update you of new job listings on a weekly basis as well. All right, so next you'll see the total listings. So what's interesting about this is you'll see the job title, you'll see the name of the company, their location. It'll tell you where this job was posted. So this was posted on ZipRecruiter. And then it gives you a little brief description of what that job entails. But when you click on the job title, you'll get more details as well. And then you'll follow their instructions on how to apply for their position. And what's unique about Career Shift also is it allows you to, you'll see these items down below, it allows you to find contacts. So it'll allow you to connect to people affiliated with that particular company or organization, and you can look them up on LinkedIn. It will also allow you to share the job and or save it for later. So when you click on that, find contacts, you'll be able to find this kind of information. You see the name of the company, their title, and then you can look them up on CareerLink, and there's some other pieces of information further below. As I mentioned earlier, it's important to stay organized and keep track of every position. So if you like to create Excel sheets, you can do that as well, just to keep track of the positions that you've applied for. You can include the kind of documents that you sent them and the dates that you sent them. You might want to, create a category for when you might want to follow up with them. So usually it's a good idea if you haven't heard from an employer to call within like 2 weeks of applying, and you can always just call and say, look, my name's Angie and I applied for this position. Can you tell me if you need any more information from me? I'm really excited to work for your organization. And also, when do you think you might be holding interviews? That would be my recommendation to determine, okay, how long do I need to wait, right? When can I expect that call as well? So it's okay to call and follow up when you have someone's contact information, because sometimes you don't. Yes. Okay. Is this Excel sheet available to download? Unfortunately, we don't have one, but I think you might be able to do a Google search and look for a job search plan Excel sheet. That's what I would recommend. Usually you can find a lot of kind of templates that you can set up in this way. But yeah, definitely take a screenshot of this so that you can kind of duplicate it as well. Okay. Let's see what else. So stay organized. Okay, and one of the biggest questions that I get from students is they begin to prepare for interviews and prepare their resume and talk to employers. It's like, well, what exactly, do employers want to know, right? What do they want to hear about when I go in for the interview or when I'm writing my cover letter and my resume? And this is a survey that was done by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, where they surveyed all the employers to find out exactly what do they want, from people that they hire? What do they want to know about? So they really want to know about your ability to work as part of a team, your ability to solve problems, to analyze, right, information, to communicate well, both verbal and written. They want to hear about any times when you took the initiative, which means that you basically did more than you were required to do, right? Maybe you were able to step up into a leadership kind of position, maybe without being asked. They'll want to know a little bit about your technical skills and your ability to be flexible and adaptable, because as we know, the world changes, right? So I think we're all pretty flexible and adaptable, because the pandemic kind of taught us to be, right, to be able to change in a moment's notice. And of course, a strong work ethic. So, I want to remind everyone also, because when I hear from students that when they're applying for internships, they're like, well, I don't have any experience. And so we start having a conversation about the kinds of experiences that they've had so far. And usually students have had some jobs. So you've probably had some jobs, it could be retail, it could be food service. And that's also important. Work that you do there, and those are great places where you develop all of these skills, right? And so employers do value that. And so I just want to let you know that I did ask an employer one time about what they thought about that kind of work, and they said, it doesn't matter what kind of work it is, it's all about how that individual talks about their experience, right? You give value to the things that you have done. So if you're able to talk about the things that you learned and how well you did them, that's the most important thing for them, the ability to communicate those these are all transferable skills that you can apply in all work settings, including academic settings, right? Like when you're in the classroom and working on projects, those are all great skills to share with employers as well. All right, some other search sites that you can utilize also, because again, keep in mind that not every employer will advertise on CareerLink or CareerShift. Okay, so there's lots of other websites that you can go to. So feel free to take a screenshot of this or a picture. One that I usually recommend is internships.com. It will take you to a page that says Chegg Internships, but that's a great place to find other opportunities. And the site is only dedicated to internships. And several other, if you're interested in working with government agencies, okay, we have governmentjobs.com, and that lists city, county, state, and federal opportunities as well. So a little bit of everything. USAjobs.gov is only focused on federal government jobs. And again, you can always, if you want to work for a government organization in the county of Los Angeles or Long Beach, or the county of Long Beach, the county of Los Angeles or the county of Orange, you can actually go to their websites and find those opportunities as well. And of course, there's City of Long Beach jobs, City of LA jobs as well. And so, as I mentioned earlier, there are companies who only advertise on their website. So if you're interested in working, for example, with hospitals, sometimes they only list them on their website. So visit their websites for more information. Definitely talk to faculty as well. They might have a network of people that they interact with that they can actually refer you to other possible employers as well. So use those office hours to share a little bit more about what you're interested in looking for, and maybe they can give you some leads or start guiding you, right? It's good to get information from everyone, including joining student organizations. Student organizations and clubs are a great way to develop friendships and also network, right? And oftentimes at those organizations, they will put on amazing events where you get to interact with employers, including inviting recruiters to their meetings to talk about internships and jobs as well. So get involved anytime you can. All right. As far as the application process, you need to make sure that you get started on your resume. As I mentioned, that's usually the first document that every employer wants to receive from you. Some employers may also ask for a cover letter, and I'll show you where to find those samples as well, and we can review those for you. Oftentimes, employers will also want letters of recommendation or just references like telephone number, email, a way to contact them. So references can be anywhere from professors, right, from your classes. So it's important to start getting to know your professors and allowing them to get to know you so they can speak a little bit more highly about how you interact with others, how well you do, with your academics. And also keep in mind also that I know we all have had jobs probably that we don't enjoy as much. It's just a job, right? That helps pay the bills. But keep in mind that more than likely when you apply to that next job, that next employer will want to speak to your most current employer, okay, about the quality of worker that you are. Okay, so it's really important that no matter which kind of job you hold, it's important to always do a good job. Okay, so that they always have something good to say about you and can serve as your reference. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then you can move on to a better opportunity. Okay. In some fields, like in the writing fields, they might ask for a writing sample, and some, opportunities might be more scholarly and might want to require some transcripts as well. In some majors, also like it could be engineering or design and several others, like teaching, you might include a link to your portfolio, and you can always create business cards as well. So that's just extra. Okay, now I'm going to highlight the Career Development Center website. Like I said earlier, I gave it to you, or you can just Google Career Development Center, CSDOB. When you get on this page, you can click on students right there. Oops. Let me go back. If you click on students, once you click on students, for some reason it's not showing up, you'll be able to select resumes and cover letters, and there will be a link there where you can find some sample resumes. If you're a freshman, there are some sample freshman resumes, and there's also some resumes organized by colleges, from your major. All right, another great program that's available through CSULB is called Beach Nexus. It's a mentoring program. So if you're looking for a mentor or someone who can guide you through any, through your college experience and get advice on, how to get into your career field, I recommend that you connect with Beach Nexus. It's a great way to get advice from professionals in the community, from alumni, and even current staff members. So you'll be able to find Beach Nexus also on the My Apps page or single sign-on. All right. So I've kind of come to the end, but I don't want you to leave yet. If we have any faculty or staff, this is only for faculty and staff. If you are here as part of the Career Advocates Program, you'll want to make sure that you scan this for attendance verification. Okay, this is only faculty and staff. So I'll give you a moment to scan that to verify that you attended today's webinar. Okay, next. For this particular webinar, everyone else, all of our students, and or if there's alumni here, you want to make sure to scan this QR code. Okay, and make sure that you do complete the survey. It'll be great feedback for us. And we appreciate the feedback. All right, how can I scan if I'm attending from my phone? That's a good question. Maybe take a picture of it and, how do you do a screenshot? Can you do a screenshot and then maybe go to the link down below? You might have to type that in though. Good question. Maybe give her a moment. All right. And another reminder, one moment, let me check the chat real quick. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Oh, someone's leaving. Okay. Okay, very good, Saba. Thank you. Okay, so anybody else who needs attendance verification, this is only for our students. You can email me again in the webinar, include class assignment, and then include the name and ID number, professor, class name and number, and your webinar notes. All right, so my final message to all of you is I like this quote, opportunities are like sunrises. If you wait too long, you miss them. So yes, so my advice to all of you is to not wait until the last minute, right? Which is sometimes our tendency to wait until we need something, right? But start planning to look for internships and job opportunities. So if you are looking for jobs and you're graduating, you want to look one semester before you graduate. Same for internships. Apply one semester before you want them. If you're thinking about working for very large companies, some of those company recruiters will start hiring for interns or start recruiting for interns as early as the fall semester. So really, my tip is always be on the lookout for those opportunities. So stay current on CareerLink, CareerShift, and any other sites that you find useful as well. Okay. Am I right? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. So just be on the lookout. My hope is that each one of you lands at least one internship before you graduate and or looks for opportunities related to what you think you want to do. So pay attention to the work that you choose to do. Okay. And if you need anything, know that the Career Development Center is here to support you in this whole process. We are available year round. Okay, and you to make appointments with career counselors. I'm one of the career counselors, and we have several others that you can meet with, more one-on-one, in person or virtual as well, to have some of these conversations. Okay, let's see. I hope I did record it. Okay, yeah. I'm going to stop recording.